Hello everyone and welcome to another history video. So today we're taking a look at Cosmo Doomsday in history format. This deck comes from Greenwire and this deck looks pretty insane. It's playing a lot of new cards such as this card called Cosmo Doomsday and Calling the Weak, and some of the new lesson cards as well. But the Cosmo this card hasn't really been played ever in history format just because it's rather hard to actually grow this card. Because this card says Cosmo's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. So somehow you have to exile cards into the graveyard to grow this card, and most of the times if you play this on turn 2, it's going to be just a 0/1 creature. And that is where another new card comes in here that's going to help with this case. We have a Doomsday, which says search your library and graveyard for 5 cards and exile the rest, which will basically fuel for the Cosmo here into 40 plus power creature, which is pretty insane. So if you have the Cosmo already down on the battlefield on turn 2, and if, let's say, if opponent doesn't have, a removal spell or a creature down on the battlefield, I mean, technically, if you cast Doomsday, you do win the game if you attack with the Cosmo but 99% of the time, that is not going to happen. So how do we win with the Doomsday and Cosmo? And that's where this card comes in called the Thud. It's a 1-mana red card that lets you sacrifice the Cosmo and deal Cosmo's power to your opponent. I mean, unless opponent has like 50 life, opponent's gonna die. And this combination is pretty powerful because even if opponent has a Fatal Push, as long as you play the Cosmo you still have the priority, and then you can Thud immediately. So unless opponent has a counter spell, the Thud is going to deal at least 40 plus damage to your opponent. But if you cast a Doomsday, it is a 2-card combo, and you're only going to be drawing 1 card this turn. So somehow you have to get to Cosmo and Thud on that turn. And that's where this card called Manamorphose comes in. And this card is actually really, really good because not only draws you a card, but it refunds the mana back. And at the same time, it also filters the mana for you. And sometimes playing a Cosmo which is black and a green, into a red mana card can be a little bit challenging, and Manamorphose just handles both of those aspects rather well. So this card is extremely good for the combo. So as long as you have either the Cosmo Thud, or the Manamorphose, one of those cards in your hand, you can set it up so that if you play the Doomsday, the following turn, you're going to be able to play the Cosmo and Thud that turn. So that's a way to win with the Cosmo here with Doomsday. However, we also have another card that can also empower the Cosmo as well if you don't draw into Doomsday. And sometimes you're not going to be able to pay half your life total if you're playing against like an aggressive deck. And that's where the Necrodominance comes in, because this card says if a card or token would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Which means every card that you draw past your maximum hand size of 5, you're going to be discarding those cards and it's going to get exiled, empowering the Cosmo here, which is going to enable the Cosmo to grow into a Thud, which is exactly what we're looking for here. And because we're also playing Necrodominance, we're also playing cards like Sheoldred. We have 3 copies of it. So if you have the Sheoldred and Necrodominance on the battlefield, you can just kind of aggressively look for Cosmo and a Thud to kind of win the game. So if you have 20 life, draw 19 cards, and then multiply by that 2, and then you're going to be gaining back all those life that you lost. And the following turn, you keep the Thud and the Cosmo to win the game. So that's another way you can also win as well outside of a Doomsday. And these are like 3-mana cards and 4-mana cards, right? They're fairly expensive, but we're also playing 4 copies of Calling the Weak here, which can sacrifice cards like Eye Twitch, which can also grab Decrum Dissertation, which is a fairly new lesson card. If you do it on turn 2, you can basically cast this card immediately, which is going to let you draw 2 cards every single time. And then if you get the Sheoldred down, you're actually going to be going up on life. Otherwise, if you have Necrodominance and Doomsday in your hand, you can just Calling Ritual into those cards. Or let's say if you're playing against an aggressive deck, post sideboard, you can even go Calling the Weak into Calling Ritual, and that'll clean up the entire board, which will also give you mana back for how many cards destroyed. And then you can play the Necrodominance and the Doomsday or the Sheoldred. So I'm excited. So we're going to be hopping over to our first match here. So let's take a look. Right. We have a turn 1 assemble the team, which is kind of cool. So I'll probably get rid of a Manamorphose and then assemble the team. Maybe a Calling the Weak as well. I could see myself getting rid of a Calling the Weak here. There we go with an assemble the team. They're playing Spire Bluff Cannel without a companion. And they played Ponder. I wanna say a wizard, but wizard decks usually play Giganta, don't they not? Okay, so we're gonna go for the Doomsday. Okay, another Ponder. See what happens if I Doomsday here. Cosmo Goive. Cosmo Goive. Thud, thud. We already have a double Manamorphose. So maybe just grab another Cosmo Goive. I don't know, something like that. Oh, Manamorphose. Oh, it's a Phoenix! Right. Oh, this is kind of bad. We're down to 9 life, so... I mean, there's a good chance we might die if they get, like, 3 Phoenixes down. Uh-oh. Completely forgot about the Phoenix. So maybe I should have played the Gemstone Cavern last turn into Manamorphose double black into Doomsday so I don't die. Okay, so at least 2 Phoenix coming out. The problem is, if they have a counterspell, then we lose the game. Okay, well, that's not it. Oh, I just made a mistake. Completely forgot about the legendary clause on the Gemstone Cavern because it doesn't have a legendary background. Hey, we secured the win with the Thud! That's all I wanted to see, honestly. Okay, so how do we win this matchup? Is it possible? Is it possible? I feel like it doesn't even have a graveyard hate. Shouldn't it have, like, at least, like, Leyland of the Void or something like that? Kind of a yikes, actually. I mean, it has Shaldred, but the thing is, like... I don't know. It seems so tough. This matchup seems so impossible. Just thinking about it. I don't know. Just thinking about it, the matchup feels impossible, but we'll see. I mean, we have a defense grid. The problem is, like, the Doomsday is, like... It's so expensive, like, this is just gonna kill me, you know? And then I have to shock here too. I don't know. Maybe if opponent just misses out on lands and stuff like that, maybe there's a chance. Or opponent gets like severely unlucky. The thing is, like, I'm gonna be taking so much damage with the Doomsday here. So I shock, which means I go to 16 next turn. And then I Doomsday and I go to 8. So if like big creature comes down here, I just lose the game, you know? Well, that's kind of annoying. I kind of wanted to Doomsday here, but they really wanted the defense grid. So I kind of have to do this now. And then hopefully I don't die next turn, or I just don't take damage here. Like, I have to not take damage here if I want to win. That's like my only shot. I have to not take damage here. Oh, I'm gonna be taking damage, so I think I'm dead. So we know opponent has the force of negation, so yeah, I think we're just dead. Because my next play is just defense grid. And we have so many clunky cards stuck in our hand. Oh yeah, we lost. Maybe they actually had Noxious Revival instead of Force of Negation. What if that was actually the case? I mean, could be. There's a chance that would have been it. So this card is kind of dead. But we have a Mana Morphos to fix it. Ooh, this hand is kind of questionable. Questionable. I'm gonna mulligan. Ooh, I don't like this hand either. Yikes. Pretty bad. Bad mulligans. I mean, I kind of expected the deck to be kind of like this. If we can get actually a Shaldra here, that'd be actually insane. Shaldred or Necrodominance. That'd be kind of sick. Okay, so they have a Noxious Revival. Oh. a Doomsday. Maybe I can get them with the Cosmo Wave attacking next turn. We shall see. Yeah, we shall see. Let's hope that this Cosmo Wave lives a turn. Manamorphose. Probably, if not, one of the more broken cards out there right now. Consider. We know opponent has like the Noxious Revival or something like that. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that's unfortunate. So even if I calling the weak here into Doomsday, seems like they might have another Noxious Revival, maybe. Not sure. There's a good chance. If it's a Force of Negation, we lose the game. I will just surrender. We have no hope. Alright, GG's. Yeah, I kind of expected something like this. Like, against the counter-spell heavy decks, I don't think this deck probably has a chance. Right, we have a Cosmogoyf, but our hand's not looking too hot. I'll go with the freebooter first. Okay, it looks like they're playing maybe like a Badgermo Cub pile. Okay, let's go Blooming Marsh again. Maybe like a mono green devotion. Okay. Okay, we actually got Calling the Weak. Which is kind of cool. What can we? Is there something we can get with this card? I mean, there's the Decrum Dissertation, but I think I'm just gonna go for like Necrodominance here. A Doomsday. So if I get a Sheldred, I'll play the Sheldred here over the Necrodominance. Okay. Burning Tree. Into Hobbits is. Okay, so I'm gonna try to look for my combo next turn because I mean they have like way too much mana right now, so I'll try to look for combo here. Yeah, let's go for 21 draws. I don't think I got Thud. Interesting. I don't think I got Thud. Let's go for Assemble Team. I could go like Freebooter, Calling the Weak, get 4 mana. Play the Cosmo Goyf. Something like that. Do I have the mana to do that? Okay, I mean, they have a lot of mana. Oh, it's a Craterhoof Behemoth deck. I see. It's a Craterhoof Behemoth deck. Alright, maybe we just go, what if we just play... How do we just, like, put in a bunch of removal spells and these cards? Maybe we just cut the combo plan and then play with this. I think that probably works. Okay. We have a pretty cool turn 2 here. So we can Eye Twitch, Calling the Weak, Decorum to draw a bunch of cards. Nice. And opponent surrenders! Okay. Apparently that play was too powerful. Okay, we can't lose to Mana Dorks because we have like 3 Calling Rituals, right? We can't do that. This hand is so slow, even though we have a Calling Ritual. Like, tiny bit better just because of Necrodominance and the Fatal Push. Oh, a Kiora.
Bet you've never been hugged by a kraken before.
Something like even a shell drip would be pretty good.
I love to make a splash.
Yeah, shell drip would kill them. A lot of both of Nissas. They found a badger mole. I think I'm going to kill the badger mole here. I'm gonna draw 10. I was really hoping for... I need to discard 7. I was really hoping for a Calling the Weak. That's a shame. Oh wait, we have a Cosmo plus a Thud. Oh, we have a Cosmo plus a Thud.
Let's get moving. The ocean surges, life thrives.
So I mean, they have way too much mana next turn. Not sure how I'm gonna stop it. Maybe we just draw 11 and pray that we don't die next turn. Yeah, let's hope we don't die here. Okay. Your go, opponent. Please don't kill me. I think I'm pretty sure we're just dead if we just go, Okay, I mean, that's a good sign if the Force of Negation came down. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, this deck is super janky, but it's very, very satisfying. Oh, we have a turn 2 Necrodominance, which is pretty cool. We have a Shifting Woodland player. Okay, this is Eldrazi. They already have a Shifting Woodland down. What the heck? Assemble the team. I think we draw 10 here. Okay, that's kind of Where's my creature though? Excuse me? Where's my creature? That's not cool. We didn't get a Thud or Cosmoglyph. Like, what's up with that? Or Sheldred. Or iTwitch. Or the Freebooter. We actually just missed everything. Holy. Really? It's an interesting choice. Alright, so... the Cosmoglyph is still too weak. I think I have to go for Sheldred. I'll draw 4. I mean, surely I get a land, right? Okay, so we got a land. So we don't actually need the land anymore because we got Calling the Weak. And we got a Thud. Talisman. That was a tap land, so that's why I discarded it. Alright, so... play the Freebooter. Calling the Weak. We still haven't found a Cosmoglyph, so I'm hoping we actually find a Cosmoglyph here. And then just win the game next turn. I mean, there's only 15... there's 15 XL, so... 5 more is lethal. There's a Cosmoglyph, so... if we don't die next turn, we win the game. Actually, they might try to get rid of my land. So maybe I keep the Blooming Marsh, just in case. It might be a little bit too late, I don't know. We'll see. They have 6 mana right now. Okay, I'm okay with this. Okay, 17 damage. Oh my god. What? Guys, why is this deck working? Why are we winning? Why are we winning? Okay, Eldrazi... Abrupt Decay is decent. If they decide to bring something like Chalice or something like that, it can be pretty good. So we'll just have 2 Abrupt Decays for like Utopia Sprawl, Talisman, things like that. I think that's it. I can see myself going down on like a gemstone, but we're going second this time. Maybe do something like that. Okay, we have a Calling the Weak. We just need one land. I'm keeping this because Eldrazi decks aren't like very fast. Okay, that's pretty fast. Yeah, that's kind of fast. If they get a Null Drifter down, I guess I'll just surrender. Welp. You know what? Like, opponent's kind of slow. Okay, well... what if I go just Doomsday here? And then just leave up Manamorphose, Cosmo Goyf. Maybe that's wrong way to go about it. It's because I don't have a way to draw a card right now. Like I don't think we need more than like Cosmo Goyf and a Thud ever. So Cosmo Goyf. The next turn, I'll just play Shaldred. Draw into Manamorphose. Maybe I need a flyer. I don't know, something like that. And I play Shaldred. Okay. I mean, I kind of half expected something like this to happen. As long as, like, there's, like, not another Slowing Micro spawn. Damn, I think we just pass. Ugin comes out. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have grabbed an Abrupt Decay in case there's like a Chalice coming out. So... do that. Play the Cosmo Goyf. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. So, surprisingly, unexpectedly, we went 3-1 this session. But, I will say, the blue matchup seems almost unwinnable. But, this deck actually could easily beat a lot of decks at the moment. I mean, against like Eldrazi, right? They're a pretty slow deck, so you can easily like Doomsday whenever you want. And Badgeramo Cub style creature decks, this deck plays 4 copies of Calling Ritual with Calling the Weak. So Freebooter into Calling the Weak on turn 2 into Calling Ritual, or Eye Twitch into Calling Ritual, like that can work against the Badgeramo Cub decks. And I think that's like going to win you the game like most of the times against these like creature decks. And the sideboarding seems like actually quite easy. Like in those matchups, I think you're just gonna win if you get the Calling Ritual down. So like you sideboard out 4 Manamorphose and 4 Assemble the Team. So now you're just working with 3 Calling Rituals, 2 Abrupt Decays, and 2 Fatal Push. So that's exactly 8 copies. So the sideboarding is actually quite easy. We've also cast Decorum Dissertation as well. Like this card is pretty sick on turn 2. Like if you go eye twitch into this card, you're just gonna be drawing so many cards. And we have a lot of like very strong turn 2 play with the calling the weak into Doomsday, into casting your assemble team, or calling the weak into Necro Dominance on turn 2. If you go freebooter into, like, this didn't happen, but if you go freebooter into calling the weak, now you have 6 mana. So you can even go like Shaldred plus like an assemble team as well. Like very very strong like turn 2 plays from this deck. But against like a blue deck, the deck just feels so impossible. I've added in one more copy of the defense grid compared to the Green Wire's version, but the problem with the defense grid is opponents playing Phoenix, so you really want to play Doomsday on turn 2, but they play things like Force of Negation and stuff like that. So not only are they like a very very aggressive deck that can kill you if you cast the Doomsday, but they also have a bunch of counter spells as well. So very, very difficult matchup. If it's like a fair blue deck, maybe we have a shot. If you go defense grid on turn 2, I think there's a fair shot that we can still win through that. But without the defense grid against a blue deck, it seems almost impossible. One other thing is, instead of like a Ozai's Cruelty, like grabbing Ozai's Cruelty is so rare in my experience playing iTwitch decks. I think having Ruinous Waterbending might be better, just because there's a lot more creature decks out there. So that's probably what I would do. Also, the Origin of Metal Bending. If you are in red, I think Price of Freedom might be a tad bit better, but because like what enchantment are you gonna get rid of, right? But I mean I guess if there's an enchantment that you want to get rid of, you can definitely play this card. But there's also that one as well that can also destroy lands, which might be relevant versus like Eldrazi and stuff like that. The Desperate Plea is also like, I'm also not sure about this card, because the only card that you can return are iTwitch and Greedy Freebooter. I'm also not quite sure about this card. I'm not sure if you will ever grab a Desperate Plea. That's kind of the thing. So against all the meta decks at the moment, I think the -2/-2 is way better. Like most of the times you're gonna be grabbing this card. If a Yawgmoth did come down, whether you grab the Desperate Plea or the Ruinous Waterbending, I think you'll lose anyways. I think against like Yawgmoth deck, like the best thing you can do is turn 2 into Doomsday, and then into Cosmo Goyf into Thud. That's probably your win condition. In order to disrupt Yawgmoth from coming down, I think you just go for calling Ritual or Ruinous Waterbending to delay. I think that's what I would do. So because like if you go Desperate Plea, I think you lose anyways. But this does give you like a silver bullet against like, I don't know, like random giant creature comes down that says you can't win the game. I don't know, like Planum Angel, something like that. Because right now I think the cyber slot for this deck is pretty pretty important. Just because I think the 3 copies of Defense Grid might be a must. Or instead of a Defense Grid, you could also play like Kozilek. That's another route you can go. Potentially could be better. But I think with this deck, like most of the times you're kind of not doing anything, so I kind of like the Defense Grid. Just like put it on the battlefield, one and done, and you're done with it, kind of deal. It's either the Desperate Plea or the Ozai's Cruelty. I think I mean, Ozai's Cruelty can be pretty nice like against like a Valakut opponent, because they play bunch of lands on the battlefield as soon as possible. So usually they go down on cards a lot, and then you hit them with the Ozai's Cruelty, and then they discard their last 2 remaining cards. I think that's like the only scenario where I think the Ozai's Cruelty would be good. But like against like a Jund opponent, you're not going to be getting this card. You're most likely you're going to be getting Decorum Dissertation. Like same with the I would say I would definitely say same with something like the mirror range, for instance. I would probably go for the Dissertation instead of Ozai's Cruelty if I were to ever calling the weak. I think Ozai's Cruelty can be replaced with Ruinous Waterbending. So yeah, that's the only changes that I made from the Green Wires version. We have one more copy of a Shaldred and one less copy of a Gemstone Cavern. We're still playing 23 lands, and I've also added one more copy of a Defense Grid instead of an Abrupt Decay, and I've also went up on a Ruinous Waterbending instead of an Ozai's Cruelty. So yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.